Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome to the live stream. So happy to have you guys here. Listen, I did a fun little writing challenge on Friday, and you're going to see the vlog of that tomorrow. But since I closed my laptop Friday, I haven't touched anything, I haven't written anything, and I need to do that. So hello, I'm on here in case there's other people out there on this wonderful Sunday that also need to do some writing. Let me, while you guys are getting on here. Hey, Becca, welcome. Hi, Vicky, welcome, newbie, to the channel. I'm so glad you found us. We have a good time here. At least I think we do. Hello, Victoria. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Okie dokie. I'm just trying to get my little timer clock situation set up. There we go. There she is. Okay. Oh, Clark's on. You're supposed to be at work. What are you doing on YouTube live stream? Okay, I'm going to remove that for now. But what are we all working on? I am going to be in this stream working on draft 3 of my book. I have this past week started the rewrite of this novel. I've got to rewrite about 15 chapters, but the goal is hopefully to make those 15 chapters turn into more chapters, because hopefully there will be more words, or there's going to be longer chapters. I don't know. If you hear some crinkling and some squeaking, my dog is very excited and wants to play fetch right now when I'm supposed to be doing a live stream. Yep, that's her. But hold on, let me actually put these on too, because I have some, I don't know if you guys are anything like me, but I like to have a little bit of a like white. Can you hear me now? Oh, I was muted. That's it. That's weird. Okay. Let me try plugging back in again, because I on my little thing down there, it said I was muted. Okay. This is another test. Let's see. All right. Can you still hear me? Thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me. Do y'all see this dog here fighting for her life? Yes. Okay, beautiful. We can all hear each other. Well, I can't hear you guys, but I feel you in spirit. I hear you in this chat. Okay, so I am hoping, my goal for tonight is to get about 1,000 words at least. That's the goal. I plan on doing 3 sprints. We're going to do a 20-minute, 25-minute, and a 30-minute. And in between those sprints, you can chat and we can talk about whatever. You can tell me something really cool happening in your story. You can ask me a question, whatever you want to do for that. And you're just going to have to deal with Honey behind me, because she is searching for that toy that I hid. Trying to get an essay ready for submission and reading Legendborn. I think I've seen that book. If it's, hold on, if it's the book that I'm thinking of, I'm pretty sure I've seen that in the bookstore, and the cover is like beautiful. If it's the one I'm thinking of, Legendborn. Yes, that is the one that I saw in the bookstore. Is that one's a part of a series or something, I believe, and I didn't read the first one. I don't know if Legendborn is the first one or if it's a a different one in the series, but I definitely saw that cover in not last time I was at Barnes& and Noble, and it just the cover was gorgeous, and I was like, "I need to read this." And also, it looks like it's gonna have, like, what's the word? A BIPOC main character, which I really, really am interested with. Oh, the 3rd one just got announced. Okay, what's the 3rd one called? Okay, I guess okay, I'm gonna add that to my TBR. I keep seeing it everywhere, so I'm finally reading it. Just gonna be doing some prep and outline work on my very first novel idea. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting, Vicky. Do you know kind of what genre you're thinking with this with this first novel idea? That's so exciting. The book that I'm currently doing another draft on is actually it's the 3rd draft of the very first book that I ever wrote. So we're just all out here setting milestones for ourselves and being awesome. But all righty. I think we can go ahead and just jump into our first sprint. It is going to be for 20 minutes. But for whatever reason, it's still saying 30. Okie dokie. Add that to the stage. All right, friends, 20 minutes on the clock starting now. Happy writing. Alrighty, friends. How did we do? That was 20 minutes. I got about 200 words, but I was also reading through what I had already written in chapter 2, and I did a little bit of light editing, and because I'm already in draft 3 and I've already like jumped into that editing brain. So now as I'm doing this redraft and I've finish a good chunk, the next day we'll go back and kind of give it a little pass and not like heavily edit it, but like just read it to make sure it is all flowing the way I want it to. But hello, Miss Blogger, welcome to the stream. How did all of you guys do during that 20 minutes? I'd love to hear. All right, Becca got 364 words. Love that. And something that I am coming to realize, which I'm going to talk about, you'll hear me talk about in the vlog that's going up tomorrow. Copied about a page and a half. Very nice, very nice. But something that I realize is I have now written in my Scrivener file, let's see, 3,000 words. Okay. And we're probably about halfway through the original chapter 1 material. And the original full chapter 1 was right over 2,000 words. So we've only covered half the material. So I've basically turned 1,000 of those words of the original chapter 1 into a little over 3,000 words. So that's very exciting. We are definitely beefing up that word count, and who knows how many chapters or words this draft is going to be. Who knows? Maybe at the end, maybe I'll have to cut some words. Ooh, wouldn't that be something? Let's see. I'm doing some line edits and fixing the formatting things, and hopefully we'll be ready to submit it in the next couple days. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Are you submitting, like doing like queries for like traditional publishing for like an agent, or are you going to be like submitting it like self-published situation? I'd love to know what your path is, Victoria. Ghost Chick got 278 words. Very nice, very nice. Have you ever heard of Abby Emmons? I don't think so. It's a creative nonfiction contest. Oh, that's very exciting. I've heard of Abby, this blogger. Love her. Okay, well, I don't know who Abby is. Maybe I need to figure out who Abby is. Is she on the YouTubes? Let's see. Let me pull up a little side by side. Ooh, love that. Took a creative nonfiction class this semester, so I figured I would submit one of my essays. Now, I'm about to show my ignorance just a little bit, but I'm hoping that you can tell me how can you do creative nonfiction? I've never heard of that, but I mean that doesn't mean it doesn't exist, obviously, because you're doing it. But if it's not fiction, wouldn't it just be fact? I don't know. Please educate me because I have no idea. Yes, she makes great videos on writing. Okay. Here, I probably have seen her. I'm just horrible at names. Like if you ask anyone that has ever met me in real life. Let's see. I'm pulling it up now. Because if I'm not subscribed to her, then I'm definitely going to. Because why would I not? Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have definitely seen her, and I am also subscribed to her channel. So yes, I know. I now know who Abby Emmons is. She's a plotter who gives writing advice using science. Yes, I've watched a few of her videos. I've watched a couple on because I mean these are things that I'm going to need to know down the road, but I've watched her video on how to do like copyright because me personally I plan to self-publish. And so I watched her video on copywriting. I've seen her, I think her video all about revision. I think she has like a series. I've seen a lot of her videos, But yeah, she's always on my For You page, and I always see her on like social media, like on TikTok, things like that. So yeah, we talked that for a few weeks in class, but it's basically memoir. Okay. So it's nonfiction, but the language and story comes before the exact truth, generally speaking. Interesting. Okay. Well, I learned me something new today. Thank you for sharing that, Victoria. Because I was like, how does you make something that's not fiction creative? Because usually typically creativity is making something up. So but I like that. Now I know. I have to look more into that because that sounds interesting. I'd be interested to know what your like what subject matter your nonfiction work that you're submitting is on, because I mean that just is really interesting to me of of that. So learning something new. But does anyone have any like while we're here talking, does anyone have any questions for me? Just if you want to ask me. I mean, I'm not an expert in, most things, but if I'm able to answer, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have just about me or my process or my outlining method, whatever you want to ask me about. You can ask me, or we can just go ahead and jump into the next sprint. Let me know what you want to do in the chat. Update. I have a basic plot structure, cozy mystery. Ooh, intro to resolution. Just need to try to place it into the 3x structure. Yes, that is very good idea to do because um I had before I when I wrote the first draft of my book, I had zero knowledge of story like structure. Um I will say, whenever I was going through after I started to learn about story structure, I was looking at my first draft and I actually kind of followed it because really it was just almost like natural. It was like it felt like a natural progression of things. There were a couple percentages here and there that were off, but very good idea to go ahead and be looking at story structure before you start, because that's one thing that I wish I had done before I started this. But now that I have done that, now I'm just applying it after the fact. So that's a good step. Good step. What gave you the motivation to finally write your book? Okay, that's a good question, Becca. So I have actually this specific book that I'm writing, I have tried to write it probably and this is not an exaggeration, at least 8 times. And I would get so into it and I would, be all about it for like a month, and then but I didn't have a plot like outline or anything. I just would write. And then after that it was all downhill and I got frustrated because I didn't know where I wanted to go next, and I'd give up time and time again. And so this time, what I did was I started to the inspiration. Sorry, I'm all over the place with my speaking, but this particular go round with this story, I was really just feeling passionate about wanting to do it, and I started it again. And what I did was I added this YouTube channel on top of that because I wanted to use my content and my videos to one, have a log to look back on the journey, and two, to have people on the internet that are holding me accountable and are asking me what's the update with your book. And I feel like for me personally, that made all the difference, was having people that were checking in on me and were, commenting on videos and saying, "Hey, can't wait to hear more about your book." And then I'm like, well, I guess I need to actually sit down and write. So I would say that the initial motivation came from me just wanting to try to revisit this, but the prolonged motivation is this channel and the people that I get to write with, like all of you wonderful people. Are you planning on querying agents for your WIP? I am not. I am planning on going with the self-publishing route. Um, and I'm still going to do all of the same things that you would do in traditional publishing. I'm still going to be, doing the marketing. I'm going to get a professional editor to do, copy edit, line edit, developmental edits, all that good stuff. But I will just be publishing it on my own. It's writing about how my middle school love for baking helped me cope with and also mask my autism. I wasn't diagnosed until 18. That is so cool. I love that. I'm writing a traditional mystery. I found Save the Cat helped me a whole lot. Oh, yes. That's what I used was Save the Cat, and it was wonderful. Also, I think there's a channel called Mick is Writing or Mick Writes. It's MIK, I think, but she has a video on story structure, and she uses the Shadow and Bone book as like a guide, as like a reference material to show like how this book is a really good example of following the Save the Cat story structure. So if you haven't checked out her video, you definitely should because it was very informative and very wonderful. Do you use character profile for your characters? If not, you should use Abby Emmons' character profile and her 3x story structure for your book. I do have like a character profile. There is another author tuber on here. Her name is escaping me, but she actually for Preptober last year released like a free workbook that you could use for outlining and prepping and stuff. And there were like character profile sheets in there that I used. And so that's kind of how I did it. And then I also have like in my Milanote that I have a like a spider web, and the main person in the story that the story revolves around is in the middle. The 5 characters that we're kind of following are around her, and then the other ones, the side characters, are all around them. And each of those things has like, if you click on their name, like double click on their name, it has all about them, who they are, who their mom is, who their dad is, do they like them, do they hate them, are their parents alive, are they dead, all that good stuff. So I've never used hers specifically, but I'm sure it's similar in some form or fashion. Agreed. These prints and videos help with writing a lot. Yes, it sure does. Very best of luck with yours. And I just bought the Save the Cat Writes a Novel book today. Vicky, you will be so happy you did because it is so nice. And it has just stuff on everything. It has stuff on POV, structure, characters, like the things that you need to do with your characters and the things you should know. It's all around a really good read, and I enjoyed it. It was my first writing craft book, and now I'm kind of like obsessed with writing craft. But it's fine. It's fine. We're fine, and we're learning every day. But if everyone is good, I am ready to start our next sprint, even though I didn't take the ticker off the bottom, but I'm ready to start if you guys are. Let me know. I'm thinking we're going to do 25 minutes. Do I know what a misbelief is? I mean, I know what the word means, but is there a specific, anything specific you're referencing to? Please let me know in the chat because I don't know. Let's go next sprint. All right, Becca's ready for a sprint. Ghost Chick's ready for another sprint. Let me go ahead and make my timer, say 25 minutes. 25 minutes. I love that. I tend to collect craft books and then never use them. I am trying to do better because I was like, Cody, if you buy this book, you have to actually use it. And so I literally forced myself one day to just, sit and read it and highlight all the important things. And it actually helped me a lot because in my Milanote, I took the story structure, the 3x structure, and put it in the Milanote as I was kind of doing a fast draft of all the things that needed to happen for the rewrites. So that part was very useful. The other parts, I didn't dig too much into them because if they didn't really pertain to writing mystery or thriller situations, then I just didn't really, take too much of that in there. But okay, let us start the next sprint, add it to the stage, and we are going now. See you guys in 25 minutes. Alrighty, friends, that is 25 minutes. How did we do? I got another, like, I guess it was only another 200 words. So right now for the day, I guess I've technically written more because I did delete something that was already written in chapter two, and but it's fine. According to my Scrivener, I have written 411 words since we've been on this stream. So the goal is to try to get to 1,000. We'll see if we can do that in the last sprint. But how did you all do? I'd love to hear. Let's see. As far as what I use, that honestly, that's the first thing that I've used, other than that's in book form. So I've used that. I've used this workbook that I have, which maybe I can find it. I think there might be a copy over there on the bookshelf. I don't know. Here, let me pull up. Let me grab my iPad really quick. Okay, so the workbook that I have is, I'll pull it up for you so you can see it. Good notes. Alrighty. So I have this, trying to get to the title page, but the person that made it is Natalia Lee. And this is what it looks like. Preptober workbook created by Natalia Lee. Obviously, I used this in 2023, last October, but it has all kinds of stuff. I mean, it has here's the whole table of contents, if it'll show you. But there's all kinds of stuff in here to use that, and it gives examples with all the things that I use, or that she, the tools she uses. There's like to-do list, there's a weekly, calendar, live stream tracker, word count calendar, word sprint tracker. You set goals, and then there are things in here like basics for your good book. Like you set the story, the mood, genre, setting, characters, theme. It's just like everything that you think you would need, like everything you need to think about in order to start the outlining process. It's very, very handy, very useful, and this was just my first year using it, and I really enjoyed it. So, but those are the only two like physical things that I have. Everything else is just like watching YouTube videos, if we're being totally honest. Got about another page and got a friend who will review the essay before I submit it. Love that. Making great progress. 582 this round. I have about 1337 total for today, though. I'm hoping to hit 2.7K. You better, Becca. You better hit them high numbers. I listen. It was a feat just to hit 2,000 on that day that you and I wrote together over Zoom. So 27K or 20, not 27K, 27,000 words, 2.7K. You got it, sis. You're going to kill it. I know you are. I really like creating character arcs and the emotion thesaurus. I've heard about the emotion thesaurus, and I might need to look into that because the premise of it sounds really interesting to me. One, two, nice, Vicky. Starting off strong. Both sprints gotten almost 1,300 words. You're killing it, girl. I love that. Check out Story Genius or Wired for Story. Alrighty. I surely will. Imagine 27K in a day. Look, that's like, oh God, I can't even imagine. I think I'm trying to think of the most substantial amount of words I've done in a short amount of time. And I think the most that I've ever written in one singular day is like 4,000 words. And that was by the time I was doing that last 1,000, my brain was like, "Can we please stop? Like I'm tired." And so I can't imagine writing 27,000 words in a day because That would just be by the last like 25,000 would just be ramble. It would be words. Who knows if any of them would be spelled correctly, but it would not be a usable anything if I was to write that much in a day. The emotions thesaurus is really good for fast drafting. Ooh, okay. I will keep that in mind because I already kind of once I am through the drafting processes of this current book that I'm working on, I already have an idea for my next book. And so I might have to get that in order to maybe help me fast draft an outline, like a very intensive outline for that story. So I'm gonna look into that one. And these other two, where did they go? Story Genius, and there it is, Wired for Story. So I'm gonna look into those three, do a little bit of some. You can use the book to help describe what the character's face looks like in a particular interaction and then fix it later. Oh, okay. See, I struggle with that sometimes. Like, I know what my face would look like if I was in the situation of my character, but how many different ways can you say like they like scrunched at their face? Like how do you how do you describe that look? Because I give that look often. I'm like, I don't know. I can picture it. I was just describing it, but we're learning. We're working on it. We're getting better every day. All of us are getting better every day. That's why we're here. That's why we showed up today to write. My comfort genre is mystery thrillers for sure. Which sounds, does that make me a psychopath that I find comfort in reading mystery thrillers? I don't know, but currently one of my faves has been. I've really been into Frida McFadden. She's the queen of mystery thriller. Love her stories. And then I've recently read Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. That was a very good read. That was more of like a paranormal situation, but it was still like a mystery, which I enjoyed. So really, any form of a mystery, a whodunit, secrets and lies. That's my typical book that I gravitate towards to read because that's what I like to read. It's what I like to write, and so I feel like I can learn a lot by reading those kind of books. But I do enjoy the occasional fantasy, like magical anything with some dragons. Um, I struggle reading people's faces in general, so it helps me a lot. I love that. Like it's just so cool how like you can I don't know. Words are hard right now, but I just think that like there's someone that wrote a book to help you describe different emotions and how they're expressed on the face and how to write them. And I love that. I love all the craft things. So love that. I've heard a few writers say to let your first draft be terrible, but I'm worried I will try to edit as I go. Do you have any hints or tips for this? Yes, I do, Vicky. I'm so glad you asked. So I am going to be like those said writers and just say, yes, let your first draft be bad. And what I did whenever I got through, and oh my gosh, hi Alyssa, I just saw your vlog. Congrats on finishing the next draft of your project gas station. Love that. We are definitely vibing here. But yes, back to this question. Let your first draft be terrible because you can fix it later. Really, the first draft, at least this is kind of what I go by. The first draft is just you telling yourself the story. It's you getting it all out of your brain and into some sort of word processing thing, whatever your processor of choice is. And once you've done that, then once you have like that the bones of the story there, then you go back in the revision process and you start to add the meat to the story, which is the phase that I'm in right now. And while I was on my Zoom with Becca, because she's read the first version of my story, and I was sharing some stuff from the new chapter one, and she was like, already I can tell that like your character seems more like a human, and I already know how he views the world. I know more about his relationship with these certain people, and so that's really what this third draft for me has been, is adding that meat and the humanity to the characters and making them feel more like a real person and not just a fake individual. I hope that made sense. That was a lot of rambling, but I hope that helped. My favorite guilty pleasure trope, found family, all day, every day. I love anything that has anything to do with a bunch of misfits coming together to do a mission or solve a mystery or fight the bad guy. Like it's all these like underdogs and that people you wouldn't expect to be able to pull this off, but they all each have their own individual, talents and quirks that makes them as a group a well-rounded troop of people that can pretty much accomplish anything. That is my favorite guilty pleasure trope. Always, always, always. If reading mystery as a comfort is wrong, I don't want to be right. And that's all you had to say because I love me a mystery. I want someone to that has died. I want someone to figure out who did it. I want to know why they did it, and I'm really kind of exploring a lot of that in the book of what I'm doing is getting into the psyche of a killer and what and I guess discussing making commentary on what did the world do to them to lead them down this path of becoming a killer, and that's kind of like one of the themes of the book that I'm writing right now. It's just interesting to me. I think it's to make a killer to some. There's a documentary series of something, and it also talks about that, and I find it really interesting. You would love Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. I just finished the trilogy, and it's found family, epic fantasy, amazing. Adding it to my TBR immediately. Where's my phone? Oh, phone. Well, I can't find my phone. It's not near me unless the dog is laying on it. Oh, she was laying on it. Okay. And okay. Making a murderer. Maybe that is what it is. But I find that really interesting. And basically, I'm going to give you guys a little exclusive, a little hook. I'm going to tell you the hook of the book, okay? And but you're not going to get anything else from me. Don't even ask, all right? But uh, basically, in this story, because this is something that would be included on the back of the book, so I don't find it to be too spoilery, right? So in the book, the main character's father was a writer, and he wrote this book series called Chronicles of a Killer, where it would go and interview people that were charged of murder and all of this stuff. And basically, he wanted to get to the root of why. He wanted to know the why. Why did you do it? Why'd you kill them? What did they do to you? Was there no other option? Blase, blase. Well, he ends up passing away, and before he ends up dying, he tells his son that he wished he could have written one more book. And so Logan, our main character, promises him before he dies that he is going to write the last installment of Chronicles of a Killer, right? And so the very last sentence of chapter 1 is step 1, I need to find a killer. And madness ensues from there. And I'm very, very excited about where this new draft is going. And it's going to be a fun time. And I can't wait for people to read it because I'm having so much fun with it. All right. So do we think we're ready for our third sprint, our nice little 30-minute sprint to get it popping, get it going? I don't know why I said get it popping. Please don't judge me. That was very cringe. Beautiful thing about being live is I can't edit out any of my rambling. You just have to, accept it when you're here. Yes, Becca, let's absolutely get it popping. Oh, yes, intrigued by the hook. Can't wait to read. I can't wait to read it either because right now, I have basically my first draft ended up coming to like around 52,000 words. And so basically, I'm now using that 52,000 word first second draft, I guess, as my outline. So I know everything that's coming next. Now I'm just beefing it up, adding in, flashbacks, character relationships, things of that nature. And it's been a lot of fun. And I'm learning more about my main character as I'm doing it. So even better. First Knives Out movie. Oh, I know what you're talking. Is that the same part of the same series as like the Glass Onion situation, or maybe I'm thinking of a whole different thing? Because that one's kind of like the Glass Onion is kind of like a fun little who done it. It kind of gives like the same vibes that the Clue board game gives. But okay, yes, okay, I have seen that, and I've seen the Glass Onion. Both of them are wonderful, and they're a wonderful little mystery. But okay, let me get the clock set for 30 minutes. I want everyone to put, let's see, everyone put WIP in the chat to wish me luck and hope that I get at least 400 words during this 30 minutes. Okay. I need all the luck I can get because I need to get these 1,000 words in for the night. So let's see if we can do it. All right. 30 minutes are on the clock, but you can't see it yet because I haven't showed it to you. There it is. 30 minutes are on the clock. Here we go. Happy writing. Alrighty, friends, that's 30 minutes. How did we do? I am very happy to report that I was quite literally only 2 words away from hitting 400 for that 30 minutes. So, all of your WIPs in the chat definitely worked, and we're so close. I only have like 200 more words that I want to write before the end of the night. So, if you guys are still wanting to stick around, I might do maybe just one more 15 or 20 minutes. Don't feel pressured to stay, but I'm going to still be on here because I want to finish this 1,000 words. Gosh darn it. But yeah, tell me how you guys did. I'd love to hear. Sent off about 5 queries and had an existential spiral. Sounds so productive. Are you spiraling about querying in general, or just spiraling because now that you've finished, you're kind of like, what do I do now? Because I've definitely felt both of those versions. And were these queries specifically for gas station, or are these for your wedding season book? Oh my gosh, Becca, 3,588 words total. That is chef's kiss for just being on the stream, or does that include the 1,000 that you got before we started this? Either way, that's fantastic. Good for you, girl. Another page. I spent most of my time trying to figure out a correct citation. Man, one thing that about I'm not good at citations. They're just like they're so specific, especially depending on which, format you're doing. I was always did MLA, but as I got into like research papers in my degree, I was doing APA, and I'm like, you have to cite things differently, and it's so just it's too much. Beck, I think I blacked out. You know what? There was a point there where I was just like, I was just typing away, and then I was like, how much time has passed? And I had to see where we were. That was another good sprint. It is 2:30 in the morning here, so I think I better stop here. Yeah, you need to go to bed. It's currently 8:30 where I'm at. So yeah, definitely get you some sleep and rest up, and then just pick it back up where you left off tomorrow, because it sounds like you made a lot of great progress. That's very exciting. Can't wait to hear more about your writing process. Agent websites just send me onto a pit of despair, and the queries are for the wedding season, not near querying. Yeah, I figured. I just didn't know if you were like, just sending ideas out. I've never queried, so I don't know, how early you can send out a query. I mean, I assume you need to have somewhat of a polished deal, but I know the process takes a long time, so you can probably have it polished by the time you get a response. I don't know, but that's exciting. Wedding season, going out on querying again. Had about 350-ish before we started. So slay. That means you've written over 3,000 words in whatever 30 plus 20 plus 25 is 50, an hour and 15 minutes. Is that right? That's crazy. Good for you. Couldn't be me, but good for you. Is there a reason you stagger your sprints this way? Do you mean just like increase the time increment, or just stagger them like in general? I'm still working on character profile for my male. Is that like a zombie, like a male zombie character? Love that. I just find it interesting. Some people do like 5-minute warm up sprint, and others do 3 45-minute sprints. I don't know. That's just, I feel like for me, 20 is like super manageable to kind of get me in the zone of doing a sprint. And the 20 also allows me the time to sit there and like think to get into it and then actually start. I feel like after like just like a 5-minute warm-up sprint, I would have only had enough time to like think about it, and I wouldn't have actually been able to start. And then the sprint's over, and they talk or for a little bit, and then we start again, and I have to get back into it and get kind of do that thinking part over again. I feel like just for me, with 20 minutes, I can think and get into writing mode, and that way, after I talk, and I start the next one, I'm still in writing mode. Does that make any sense at all? I hope it does. That is so not normal for me, but I'm going to take it. I need to hop off for dinner, but thanks so much for the live stream. Yes, everyone, if you are currently here, me and Becca are going to be live streaming together on Friday. So if you are going to be around on Friday, around, I think it's 6 p.m. when we're doing it. If you're around 6 p.m. on Friday, want to get some writing done, me and Becca are going to be live on this channel. So stop by, say hey, and get some writing done. Okay. Makes a lot of sense. Cool, cool. Sometimes like things make sense in my brain, but also I'm neurodivergent, ADHD, all that good stuff. And so, you know how it goes. I'm saying words, but I'm like, is it saying what I'm trying to say? Buddy stream, y'all. Be there or be square. Yes, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Becca, if you don't know, she's also kind of writing a thriller, but hers has a little more of like paranormal situations or a paranormal thriller. I'm not the way she described her story to me. That's kind of what my brain says. But yeah, I got to hear some of her story, and her work in progress is going to be so cool, and I can't wait to see what she does with it. So come write with us on Friday. But I think I want to try to do one more. I guess let's go back down since we're kind of we're winding down, so we can do 20 or 25 minutes. Let me know in the chat what you'd rather do, and that's what we'll do to close out this evening of writing. That is a good question, Miss Blogger. So, as I don't know, some of you may know, some of you may not, but the book that I'm currently working on is my first book that I've ever written to completion. And so, really, I am learning my writing process as I go through this first book of mine. And I'll say, as far as things that I've learned along the process, is that outlining, I'm definitely a reformed pantser. So, outlining has helped me immensely. And I will never write another book without outlining first, because it just made my life so much easier because I knew what I was moving towards, and it gave me room to play, but also some boundaries and, a final destination to go back to after I was done, playing around. And so definitely outline, and then I draft. I then did, after the first full rough draft, I read through it, did some editing things, took some notes on what I want to change, consistency things, and now here we are doing this draft that involves rewrites of some chapters because I'm changing POVs. So that is my writing process so far. And after I have this first book under my belt, then I can, better answer that question. All right, looks like everyone's voting for 20, so I am down for 20. I'm gonna set the clock for 20 minutes. All right, here we go. The last sprint. I need 200 words in these 20 minutes to hit my 1,000 for the day. Let's go. Let's do it. Happy writing. All right, friends, I am back. I don't know what happened, but I don't have the option to add my camera back on anymore. Oh, wait, never mind. Never mind. I just don't know how to use technology. It's fine. We're fine. But how did you guys do for that last sprint? I have officially, I think, let me look, let me double check, make sure I'm not lying to y'all, because I would never do such a thing. Yes, I have written for in this stream 1,070 words. So we have hit our goal of 1,000 words for the night. I am so happy that I was able to do that. I was really just like doing my best to try to talk myself out of writing tonight because I was like, just spend the night to relax. But I was like, no, you can relax, but you need to get some words in this redraft. So I'm glad I did this little pop-up session to kind of hold me accountable. How did you guys do? Yes, so excited. Got 6 of 7 pages retyped and edited for the stream. Love that. That means you're almost done. So you only got 1 page left. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna knock it out. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there are people on my street doing fireworks right now. Don't know why. It is not a holiday. It's June 23rd, and I don't know what's happening, but they've been doing this for the last like 4 or 5 hours. I don't know why. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Make sure to come back on Friday to see me and Becca live stream together and talk about our stories. It's going to be a great time, and I can't wait to see you all there. But until then, have a good night. Goodbye. You're so welcome. So welcome. Bye. Friday at 6 p.m. Central Time. So 6 p.m. Central Time. It's on my channel. It's already posted on there. So you should be able to see it and click the notify me button whenever, so you get notified whenever we actually go live. So see you all there. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.